Hi guys, I was asked to do a bridal look and I thought it was a nice kind of change from what I've been doing lately. So I've decided to go for an extremely natural, neutral kind of look that's still, you know, very romantic, pretty. It's all, you know, that whole idea about bringing out your best features and making you look as pretty as you can without making it look like you've got a mask on. Also without, you know, too much of a focus being on any one feature, even though I have played up the eyes here a bit. But I mean, I also agree with, I mean, my eyes are my favourite feature that I like to play around with. So I mean, I still would go by that kind of guideline, that your best features, still play them up a little bit more than the rest, but not overpoweringly so. So I hope you like this tutorial. It's a very long one, but I want it to be as thorough as I can for anyone who's maybe doing their own wedding makeup. And the first segment is obviously just me talking about basics and some tips and tricks about, you know, foundations and primers, etc. And then the tutorial itself is in 2 parts, but like I said, I just want it to be as thorough as possible, and I hope some of you get something out of this, that it helps you, especially if it's your big day, your own big day that you're you know, looking into. So here it is, guys. Let me know what you think, obviously, and I really hope you enjoy this video, so enjoy. Okay guys, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the skin when it comes to bridal makeup. On the day of the wedding, it's going to be, you're just going to be getting photographs taken, you know, non-stop, and the photographs are obviously one of the most important things of the day, because it's what's going to stay with you, you know, afterwards. It's going to be your biggest reference for memories, and you want your skin to look like, you know, you don't want it to look like it's caked, you don't want it to look masked, yet you want it to look as flawless as it possibly can. So the way I would deal with that there is, I'd say don't go for heavy coverage unless you absolutely have to. That's the way I like to do it. Now, I've gone for quite a light coverage here. You can still see all my freckles coming through. You know, I have a few blemishes, but I covered them up with concealer, which is what you're supposed to do anyhow. You're not supposed to use your foundation really to cover blemishes. It's just supposed to even out your skin tone. And what I used was MAC's Face and Body, and obviously I lightened it up a little bit with the white. But use obviously what colour suits yourself. No matter what, it has to suit your neck. If you're wearing fake tan on the day, or you are tanned more so down here than on your face, it just has to match up. So that's extremely important. Another thing is, you need to wear your foundation as matte as possible. So just make sure you don't wear anything. It doesn't have to be matte, like completely oil free or anything, because if you have dry skin you don't need that, but it needs not to be shimmery, you know, so no pearlescent bits in it or whatever. And also watch out for products that have titanium dioxide in it as a sunblock, because this is going to reflect light back, and what happens there is in photographs your face is just going to look extra shiny because of that. So I mean, obviously if you're outside for a lot of the day, do wear sunblock, please, but use a sunblock that is mainly a zinc oxide rather than titanium dioxide, as you know, it's a better sunscreen anyhow, but also it's just not going to give you that horrible glary effect. The same thing goes for the same thing goes for this HD foundations. Watch out for them as well, because they can look quite glary in photographs as they reflect the light. You're pretty much gonna need a primer for the day as well. I mean, you're going to be wearing your makeup from ridiculous hour in the morning to ridiculous hour the next morning. So I mean, you want your makeup to last as best as it can without having to do too many touch-ups. And you know, do use everything in, you know, that's given to you or that you can use to help that along with. So a primer is always a good idea. And be careful of sunblocks with titanium dioxide, but if you are outside, do use a sunblock. So this MAC Prep and Prime, this is the 50 plus. This is a good option as it has the zinc oxide sunblock in it, and it is such a high protection as well that you're not going to be so concerned with having to touch up with sunblock, because you can't really do that when you have makeup on. So this is a really good idea. And another thing is powder. You pretty much are going to have to powder during the day. Even people with quite dry skin, you can still usually get away with a very light powdering. And the best thing to do there, I find, is to start off in the morning and do a light dusting of loose powder, whichever one suits you. Again, stay away from shimmery or pearlescent loose powders. And then throughout the day, use a compact. It's easy to just stick in your bag. You probably will need to, you know, powder sporadically through the day. And this is just the handiest thing to have. Now, you don't need anything really expensive. This one here is by Isadora, and it's the Sheer Transparent Velvet Touch, just like that. And I really like this. I know I have a MAC one, I have a Makeup Forever one. I don't dislike this any more than I do them, so you don't need to spend a huge amount on products either for the day. Just find ones that are decent. And then also correctors is another good idea for the day. Most people, even if you have good skin, you usually have discolorations of some sort. Now I get very blue in here. It's typical Irish colouring. The veins, my skin is so pale, the veins show through. So I like to use this Bobbi Brown corrective concealer in peach, and I place it over there over the blue areas before I apply my normal concealer over it. And that works really well at covering up any colours. The last thing I want to talk about now when it comes to the base, fixers. These are a good idea for obviously when you want makeup to last all day, all night, whatever. It's just just one extra little add-on. It's not absolutely necessary, you know, you don't have to go out and get this, but I just find they are handy, and I do find this works anytime I use it. The one I'm talking about is the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. Max Fix Plus does the same thing. Some people find that normal, you know, like Evian water spray or whatever. A lot of people find that does just as well, and I have a water spray as well in my kit, and I use that as well, and I find it can help, and it's good. These are good for refreshing you throughout the day as well. So you know, you spray it over your face to set underneath, and the good thing about this is you can apply makeup over it once it's dried. So if you want to, you can spray your base just like exactly what I've done now. Once it's done, leave that settle for a few minutes and then go on. You know, so it is a handy little thing to have. It doesn't dry out your skin. It's alcohol free, this one anyhow, and it also, you know, it's a barrier against different pollutants and stuff. So I think it's a really handy, nice thing to have. I also use this as a mixing medium, so you know, it is multi-purpose. But you know, if it's just for the day that you need this, it's not necessarily to go out and get it, but if you're able to, I don't see why not. And then another good thing to do is maybe spray this on you know, a bit of tissue, and then you can kind of blot that against your skin if you feel you need a bit of kind of refreshing throughout the evening as well. But the main thing for this is I do find it helps with the longevity of my makeup, and it's an extra good thing because, you know, you kind of feel like if you want to keep your makeup lasting, you constantly need to powder, and powder does build up. So if you have something like this, you're not so worried about powder buildup, and especially for people with very dry skin who don't want to over powder, it's a great option. So that's all I'm going to talk about when it comes to the base and complexion, because I could go on all day. You know, you can use corrective primers, green colour, the lilac colours, whatever. Just depends on your own skin. If you want to ask me any questions about them, do feel free, but I'm going to go on ahead and go on to the second part of this video, which is the actual makeup. Okay, there's one last thing I do actually want to mention that I think is very important when it comes to wanting your makeup to last and look good all day, and that's blotting tissues, blotting papers. So this one I have here is the Body Shop ones. Now this one is, these ones are the ones with a bit of powder on it. Now it's not a huge amount of powder, so you don't have to really worry about build-up, but it just helps absorb. So obviously you just lay them against whatever part of your face has that extra bit of oil coming through, and it absorbs up the oil without disturbing the makeup underneath. So it is a great idea. And for people who have maybe problem skin or are very kind of nervous about using any extra products with powder on it, Body Shop do blotting powders that are powder free and have tea tree oil on. And again, this was only like $3 something, so it's not expensive. It's a great extra handy wee thing to have during the day on your wedding, and for anyone actually. I mean, these are great during the summer for me, just if you're walking out and about all day and you don't want to be kind of powdering, or they're very discreet as well. You can kind of just go like this. It looks like you're just patting your skin, and they're just a really handy thing. So that's literally definitely the last thing I'm going to say about the base. Yeah.